Hello everyone. Welcome to all of you who have joined us today on our webinar. And my aim for doing this webinar is to build up a generation of young people and students who seek excellence in education and life in general to become great members of their society. So our topic for today's webinar is capacity building, being proactive at school and doing more beyond good grades. And to help me do this, I have a very vibrant and knowledgeable young man here with me. So before I introduce him, I'll please ask you to send in your questions and comments in the chat box, and be rest assured they will be answered in the course of the show. So I'm going to introduce my guest for today. So our guest is Emmanuel Mensah, who is a Bachelor of Commerce degree holder in accounting from the University of Cape Coast, and he did his national service with the Ministry of Finance Ghana and has varied skills in accounting, data analytics, and visualization. He's also the founder of Self Africa. I hope I mentioned that right. A non-governmental organization which seeks to empower and reposition the youth for national service. So without wasting much time, let's head straight to our program for today. So I welcome Emmanuel. And before that, let me know where you are watching us from in the chat box. You can send in where you are watching us from in the chat box. So we will head straight to our program for today. Welcome, Emmanuel. Hello, Emmanuel.
Hey, hi Nancy.
Okay, you're welcome to our webinar. So we will head straight to the program for today. And the topic is being proactive at school and doing more beyond good grades. We usually go to school for the sake of, passing. Yes, in Ghana, they have this term, chill, poor, pass, and forget. So we are trying to do things beyond what we are known for, like chewing, pouring, and passing and forgetting. We need to do more beyond the good grades. So due to this attitude, there has been some unemployment issues globally and especially in Africa and Ghana. So why do you think this is the case?
Okay, first of all, I would want to thank you so much for the opportunity, and also say a very big thank you to all those who have made time out of their busy schedules to join us this evening. Yes, as you rightly said, yeah, education has been so centered on chew, what do you call it, pass and forget. You get the point, and that has been very problematic for the economy, or let me say for the people themselves, and affecting the quality of life we have here. Also with unemployment or employment issues. First of all, to me, the major issue with our that has to do with unemployment in Africa and Ghana to be specific, has to do with our educational system. Some way, somehow, I think the drive at which the continent or Ghana are pushing towards, let me say, industrialization, the educational system doesn't, seek to position the labor force in that regard to some extent. Because it's so disturbing where someone will be in school for 18 years on average, from primary school to university, and then you complete school, you seek job, and the employer or the one offering you the job will tell you that you don't meet the the demands of the work. You don't have the skills they need to employ you. So you begin to question yourself, why should I be in school for all these while and 18 solid years? Get out there and someone will be telling you that you don't meet the job market. They are right, because the school itself doesn't position us in that regard. You get it? They don't give us that exposure we need. They don't give us that skills we need to be able to meet what the job those offering the job have I mean demand from us. So first of all, I think the focus of our educational system has been on reducing illiteracy, the illiteracy rates. That has been a focus, but not specifically industry driven. You get it? So
Yeah.
um, if it's industry driven, at least they would what do you call it? Expose the student to some of these skills that they will need, so that as soon as you get out of school, for you being in school for solid 18 years, you would have all what it takes to work in any field you need. You get a point? And then also, I think to some extent too, the little firms we have in our country or continent, those small firms and businesses operating, they don't have enough support systems. They're not getting enough support systems from government and institutions that supervise their activities. Because Ghana, for instance, all right, I don't know for other countries, but for Ghana, I think it's very difficult for any business, a startup business, to start operation on equity basis or to finance its operation on equity. The reason is people don't believe. Hardly will you get someone to believe in your dream. Get it? People don't
Yeah.
really believe in the dream because they think that, okay, if I should put in this amount of money, how much am I getting at the end of the month? How much am I getting at the end of the year? What if I don't get it? So it's more businesses find it easier to get financing when they veer into debt financing than equity financing. And this is very dangerous for every startup business. Just imagine you're a startup business. You don't know how your market is going to be. You don't know how your customers are going to respond to the business you have. You don't know how they are going to react. You don't know your profitability. You have no idea, although you've done all your models, but these things are very subjective. So if you don't know these things, you are starting a business with loans, and then at the end of the year, out of the little profit you make, you have to use part of it to service some of these debt or loans you have. And then at the end of the year, you have no money to pay back the loan. You get it?
Yeah.
Or
So
lower
we
for you
have
to
a
expand.
little bit of a problem here.
Oh,
Hello, Emmanuel.
you lost me?
Yeah. I think you're back.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm still on.
Yeah.
Okay. So as I was saying, there are not enough support systems for the businesses operating here. And since these systems are not there, they also find it very difficult to expand. And if they are not expanding, then it means that they are not also employing more graduates.
Yeah.
Also, we may also look at firms. Some of the firms that are in the capacity to employ are also moving from being labor intensive to capital intensive. Do you get
Please
a
throw
point?
more light on it for us.
They are moving. Yes, they are moving from being more labor intensive to capital intensive. So instead of they employing more uh, uh, um, persons into their business, they believe that no, why don't we veer more into technology, because that is what is evolving in the world currently. The world is evolving actually. So it becomes very dicey, because if I want to employ someone, I will need someone who can do two, three, four, five tasks. You understand? Because if technology is doing A and you want to do B, you should be able to have some other thing that would give me the edge to recruit you. But very unfortunate, our educational system doesn't provide us all these things. So it dawns on us to take the step to ensure that we get all those skills that we need to push forward. So
So
basically, let me
let me ask
say,
a
these are
question
the
here.
key factors affecting unemployment in Africa. Basically, our educational system not meeting the drive.
Okay, so do you think
Okay,
the schools or the parents are also to blame in a way, or the students themselves?
I to me, for me, I would say everyone has a role to play. So everyone is to be blamed.
Okay.
The reason being that fine, you've been taken to school. You understand? And it's very unfortunate that the system doesn't give us that leverage to explore ourselves because yeah, when it's school, it's basically school. You spend the whole day in school. Even on weekend, you have many assignments to do and a whole lot. So you don't have time for yourself. You understand? But that is no excuse. You still have to make time for yourself and do what you want to do. All right. There are a lot of people that are doing it, and it's possible for everyone. Yeah. So everyone basically have a role to play. So everyone needs to be blamed. But the system on its own is the biggest failure here.
So since we can't really as students, yeah, because this is mainly for the students. So since we can't
Yeah.
uh, really do something or do anything about the system, what can we do as students to help us or to prepare us for the job market?
That's where personal development comes in, right? Exploring yourself, knowing
Yeah.
what you can do best, exploring opportunities around you. You get it? So, as a student, the very first thing you can do is to know what interests you, apart from academia, apart from you being in the school reading this program. What else do you interest? Getting people within that network. So, for instance, if you are doing accounting and maybe you want to be a professional accountant someday, you can connect with people who are in the corporate world already. All right. Ask relevant questions, seek information from them. So you can start asking, what are some of the skills that are very important that I should learn while I was in school before I complete? What are some of the opportunities out there that I can grab when I complete school? When you start asking some of these questions, you get more information as to what you need to do, the skills you need to acquire, and a whole lot before completing school. And when it happens this way, you also know what to do. So you have a plan, you have a direction, you have something you're working towards. So for instance, if they tell you that okay, when you get into the corporate world, you use more of Excel for analysis. You use more of, let me say, Power BI for visualization or data visualization or something. So as you've gotten the information, it dawns on you to take the right step. So how are you going to, or what are you going to do to ensure that before completing you have these skills? Maybe you have a colleague who is very good in Excel. Maybe you don't have a colleague, but currently we are so fortunate. The internet has everything. It has basically everything. There are a lot of free learning sites online. You can just visit and acquire any skill you want. So we really don't have much of an excuse to say we don't have all these opportunities. Although the system on its own has failed us, but we also have a key role to play to, take all the corrective steps we need to ensure that as we graduate or leave out of school, we have all what it takes to be employed or to build our human capacity, what do you call it, our skill sets, basically.
Yeah, but this is the case where we are bogged down with a lot of assignments at school, lots of workshops, lots of seminars, and all these
Yeah,
things, like all these activities at school. So we don't really get enough time to focus on what really interests us. So what can we do as students?
yeah. So as I was saying, it depends on what interest you want. So on the path you've taken. So if you've taken a particular path and you find so much interest in it, and that's where you want to be, you first have to start seeking information. Yes, of course, it's very true. The system doesn't make room for you to explore yourself that much because Within the weekday, you have to be in class throughout. During the weekend, you have an assignment, you have project work, you have a whole lot of things to work on. But definitely, you can take baby steps. All right, you can take baby steps. So there are some people who use about a year to complete something, and that's far better than you sitting aloof, watch the whole year to go by, giving excuses, and then the year will end, you have nothing. So, in as much as there are issues with you having time for yourself, having time for your books, having time for exploring what you want to do, you still can take baby steps so that as you go on, you are learning something. And within a specific period, let me say a year, at least you can be a master with it. So, assuming you pick one skill in a year from 1st January to 31st December, you should be able to master it. So within 4 years, assuming at the university, by then you've mastered 4 skills. You get a trick here. And that's far more better than you sitting and saying that, oh, you don't have enough time, you don't have enough time. You keep giving excuses, nothing will work for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So for those in the secondary school, do they have to start working on that, like preparing themselves for the job market, or you have to wait till you complete university before you start working on it?
Even senior high school is so late. Even senior
Oh,
high school is so late. You know, down here in Africa, oh yeah, true. You see, we look down on our abilities. We look down on the kids. We feel they are too young. But trust me, these kids have what it takes to master whatever skill they want. You know, when you go out there in the Western world, you see someone at the age of 10, at the age of 12, and the person is a very serious programmer. You
yeah,
start to
that's
ask yourself, what happens? Like, what was this person exposed to? It's not that they have special abilities or something, but they have all the support systems as early as possible. You get it?
yeah.
There are program languages that are so friendly that these kids can learn as far back as, let me say, from class 6 or JHS 1. You get it? They can start learning these skills, baby steps, baby steps. By 3 years, 2 years, 4 years time, they are masters already. You don't need to be at a senior high school, at a university before you acquire some of these skills. They are not something that are too huge for them to learn. These skills, these kids we see out there are very, very good. They have all what it takes, but what they lack most is information and a support system. And I think that should be the focus of most of the schools and even their parents and
Yeah.
the institutions that are in charge of our educational system. They have to provide them with the needed information, the coaching they need, and the support systems. These things will work for us.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So we have some programs at school that organize internship programs for their students, and some also do not offer that, especially in secondary school. We don't really in Ghana, yeah, when I was there, we didn't really get more people doing the practical stuff, especially the science students. So imagine science students not being in the lab doing something with their hands or working in the lab. Always, the theory and everything. So if your school
You
does not
know, you know,
if your school does not provide such opportunities, what do you have to do?
uh, that's it's difficult. It's difficult for you to work things out yourself. It's
Yeah.
very difficult, but some way, somehow, you have to engage people. You can't sit somewhere and say that you want to do something. You're not getting a support system, so you put your hand in between your legs and then you just sit there. You have to take a bold step, engage people out there that this is what I want to do. I'm not getting a support system I need. Can you please hire me here just to intern for a short period? There are lots of people, they need most of these interns, all right? But the problem is they are also reluctant. You get it? So you are the one in need of it as a student. So take the step, go out there, engage people that this is what I want to do. Can you please hire me to be an intern for this period? It will work for you. Even if they reject you, there are a lot of opportunities out there. And even if you're not getting a specific firm to intern with. You can personally look out for a skill and learn. That is far better than sitting home, not doing anything. You leave all the physics, the biology and chemistry you've learned. You sit home for 3 months, not doing anything, not revising, nothing, and it's a whole lot. So I think we have to start chasing these opportunities. Unlike then, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, where there were a lot of opportunities and few students, they were chasing the student. But currently, the situation is different. There are very
Yeah.
few opportunities. There are a lot of
Yeah.
students. So if you don't take the step, no firm will chase you. That's the secret. No firm will chase you. So you have to, if you want to intern, you have to take that step. Or if you want to learn a skill, you have to take that step to do it.
Okay. Yeah, sure, sure. So you have to know what interests you, and then you take the steps to work towards it. Approach people, and
Yes.
then yeah, also make yourself available.
Yeah.
Work for people. Okay, so I would
That's it.
I would ask you,
And
can you
seek
share with us
information.
your personal story? Like how all these things have helped you?
Okay. I think I have to kickstart from where it all started. Growing up, I was so, I don't know how to put it. I was so bookish. I was so bookish, always with a book, learning, reading, and a whole lot. So I think somewhere Form 2, we had junior achievers. I guess you heard about it while you're on campus. Junior
Yeah,
achievers.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi, Nancy.
Yeah, I can hear you. I think when I talk, it delays at your end, so we would have to manage.
Great, great. So I was fortunate to be appointed as the junior achievers president, and yeah, it delays. Yeah, I get. So I was fortunate to be appointed as the junior achievers president, and that role exposed me to a lot. We're into business, doing a lot of souvenirs for the school and a whole lot. So I really built, I understood business there. I understood practical business. You understand? A lot of the things I was learning in class, I had to put them to work, to use. I have to use them. So it really exposed me to a lot. But I didn't know the good it was doing. I didn't notice. I felt, well, I'm applying what I've learned, and that was all. Until I got to the university and had my first internship. So even before the internship, during our first, I think first or second accounting lecture, the lecturer came to class and he was talking about a problem a first class student had when he went out to work after graduating. And he was given a financial statement to prepare a bank reconciliation statement for the firm. And he went to his boss and was like, sorry, I can't find unpresented checks in the transactions. I can't find uncredited checks in the transaction. And it was so embarrassing. He knew all the terms, he knew all the terminologies and everything, but he couldn't use it to detect which transaction has to do with unpresented check, which transaction has to do with wrong debit, wrong credit. It was a problem for him. And when I did my internship at Access Bank, level 100 Longsback, we're given some Excel work to work on, and I got lost totally. Like I had no idea. I was just there, like I didn't know what I was doing. You get the point. So after the internship, I told myself that no, that what I've learned in school, well, it was good. It gave me a fair understanding of what is being done in the banking sector. But however, it didn't give me the technical skills I need. You get it? So right from level 100, level 200 first sem, I started mastering all these things. So I started with Microsoft Office. I was working with Excel most often. I have to, everything I have to use Excel. I will use it for. So I started with Excel, went to PowerPoint, and then later veered into um, graphic designing because I really loved visuals, like graphic designs. So I veered into that. I started learning graphic design, and I learned all these things on my own. It's either I go to YouTube and download videos, or I find what do you call it, a free learning site. I go there, I go and learn something, and that was what I was doing. Within a period of 2 years, I was able to master Microsoft Office and even master graphic design. So with the interest I had in graphic design, I had to delve more into it. So I started with Illustrator, and then a friend recommended what do you call it, Photoshop. So I went to Photoshop. With time, I realized that we had Premiere Pro, so I went into Premiere Pro for video editing. And then later, I realized that we had what do you call it, After Effects for motion graphics. So I also veered into After Effects and started mastering. And within a year, I was very good at it. As we speak, I do graphic design, though I don't do it for commercial purpose, but I do it for myself and my NGO. I really don't have much of the time to commercialize it. I won't be able to meet the demands. Yes, so it's something I use for myself. I use at work if there's a need, and it's been very helpful. It's been very very helpful. This year I started with programming. I started with what do you call it, JavaScript. It was very difficult for me. Someone who has no idea about programming started with JavaScript. You can imagine. So I stopped, and then a friend told me that Python was so easy, the syntax was so, easy to understand. So I veered into Python. I'm quite good with Python now. I'm doing more of data analytics with it. All these things, no one taught me in class. There were things I had to learn on my own. So just imagine if I had to rely on everything that was being taught in school, that these things are going to propel me or give me the advantages I need in the corporate world. It's going to be a very big problem for me. So I think these skills have been so helpful. It has opened doors. During my national service, there was one of my bosses who I work I do Excel presentations for, and he's so happy with that. Get it? It gives me a plus. There are others who can even use Excel. Another colleague told me he was doing his national service in a bank. He told me that a friend lost an opportunity, then just in the national service. A friend lost an opportunity because he wasn't too good with Excel and then PowerPoint, or let me say more of Excel. And that was the basic skill they needed. At least if you don't know anything, you should be a master in Excel. But he lost a job opportunity because of that. So basically, this has been my story.
Wow, wow. So this is what I really got from what you said, from your story. Like, you took the
Yeah,
initiative. You realized that you actually needed to learn more on your own, because some of
yeah,
these things are not taught in school. So you took the initiative to do that on your own, and then it's
yeah,
opened doors for you, and it also helped you to explore other areas also. So that is really, really great.
yeah.
Uh, I would want us to talk about those who have completed university and didn't know about these things. They didn't know about preparing themselves, whilst in school for the job market, and now they have completed and they're at home. No job for them. What would you say to them? How can they build themselves up for any job opportunity?
Okay. What I would say is it's very unfortunate that they didn't get a work to do after their 1 year national service. It's very very bad. Completing school and not getting work to do is not easy. From an African home, there's a lot of pressure on you. Yeah. But I think this is another opportunity given them for them to use it to build their skill sets, expose themselves well to the skills that the the job market needs. Right, get themselves abreast with these skills. This is a fine opportunity. At least, even if you're not getting a work to do within the first year, you should be able to master one skill. I know someone called Mickey. I met on Twitter. He's not been to any IT school before, but trust me, he's one of the finest app developer in Ghana. He's very, very good. During the COVID time, he developed what do you call it? A mobile app for COVID, giving live feeds from every country, every part of the world. The guy is very excellent. So if someone who has never been to a programming class before is able to do this, that should tell you more. So I think they have to use this as an opportunity, explore, go on. There are some platforms you have to be, like LinkedIn. You can connect with everyone, ask questions, be so inquisitive, like be so curious. Ask them questions. Let them know that this is what you want to do. Ask for recommendations. They'll tell you the skills you need to update yourself with. Get those skills, master them. And even apart from the skill that you need to excel in your own field, there are other skills you can acquire and then work on yourself, like work on your own, like programming, for instance, like graphic designing. These skills are out there, you can learn and then start running your own business. And with graphic design, for instance, you can learn even within a month or two. You can learn graphic design and very good, very good with it. So this is what I would tell them. But it's very unfortunate. But they can use this time as well to learn skills, go out there, go to platforms. If you're a business student, you're a finance student, they are modeling, financial modeling, what do you call it, courses on YouTube. You can visit, download, learn on your own. Learn all these things. Just imagine you are seeking a job as a fresh graduate, and you are very good with financial modeling. You are very good with data analytics. You are very good with all these things. Who will sit aloof and say that they won't employ you? They'll give you the opportunity,
Yeah.
right? And also, I think another major problem has to do with networking. You see, we find ourselves in environments where it's easier to get work based on your network than to get work based on your talent. It's very easy to get work based on your network than to get work based on your talent. And that's so unfortunate. And because of this reason, Africa is losing a lot of talent just because of this particular reason. Because there are a lot of people with good talent, but they don't have the network. And they find it easier or interesting to go to the Western world or Europe because at that side they appreciate or value talent, unlike
Yeah.
Africa. You get it? So most of those people with high IQs and high academically very good, excellent students, they always find their way running from Africa to what do you call it, Europe or the Western world, because at that side they value talent, unlike network, which is being valued in Africa, in Ghana to be specific. So in as much as they are working on their skills, they should also work on their network and engage people, seek information. These two things can take you from.
Sure. So if you have graduated and you think all hope is lost, you still have hope. You can build new skills or build on the skill that you already have, and you are good to go. So I think we are coming to the end of this episode. What do you have to say? Your final words to everyone, to parents, to students, those who are still in school, those who have graduated, to everyone. What do you have to say to them? Because we are trying to build a community where young people are able to impact the society positively. So what would you have to say? Your final words.
Okay.
I think we lost him, and he will join us soon. So these are some of the points that I got from what he said or what he has said so far. So to be able to build your skills or prepare yourself for the job market, you need to know what interests you. You need to know what interests. Maybe you have already chosen a path that you are studying in school, or you have completed. You still need to know what interests you. What do you like to do? And then you take the initiative. We can understand, or we got from his story that he realized he needed to learn more or build skills on Excel. So he took the initiative to learn it, and also to network with other people. You need to network with other people and prepare yourself for internship. And then also be curious, because you need to ask more questions, seek information, and then never stop learning. You have to continue. I think he's back, so we will add him now.
Hey, sorry, Ghana network, noisy.
No problem, no problem.
Sorry. Yeah, so sorry, I lost it for a second. The question again.
Yeah, so I was asking, like, what do you have to say to parents, to students, like all the stakeholders in education? How can they help to prepare young people for the job market? Like your final say.
Okay, I think I have to take it one after the other, from one institution to another person, or from one industry player to another. First of all, to we the students, what I would say is, um, there's a wise saying that life is what you make it. No one can make your life better than how you want it to be. Hello?
Yeah, hello, yeah, we can hear
Hello,
you.
Nancy. Okay. So for students, I would say that life is how you make it. No one can make your life better than you yourself. So you have to take charge, and then um, make sure that you do all what it takes for you to be where you want to be. Okay. So you can go out there, engage people as much as possible, seek information. Trust me, if you don't have information, you're out of the world. The world is evolving. It is evolving so fast, to the extent that even today, if you're a programmer and tomorrow you don't update your skill, you'll be out of the system. Because day in, day out, there are being more updates. And these updates come with more features, more better features. You get it? So we should take it upon ourselves to be, abreast with current trends, to know what it takes in our career path, and then take all the necessary steps to realizing the dream. And then also to
I think it's the network again. So sorry. We tried to get him back on. Yeah, he's back. Yeah, you are back.
oh, I've faced a lot of problem with my network so much. Yeah, so as I was saying, with the institutions, they needed information. One, we have to provide them with a needed support system. If better, they have to change the educational curriculum,
Yeah.
because Africa is on a drive towards industrial evolution. All right. And today, as we speak, if you say you want 50 what do you call it, experienced mechanical engineers for a project, ask yourself, can you get all the 50 in Ghana? If you need 100, can you get all of them in Ghana? If you need 1,000, can you get all of them in Ghana? If no, and if next year or a direction for the country. So we know that this is where we are heading towards. So if this is where we are heading towards, then with the resources we have, that's the people, the citizens, or the youth coming out, we ensure that they also take that part so that by the time they'll get out of university, they have all what it takes to meet up with the opportunities out there. You get it? Because currently the only way out for Africa is to industrialize. And if that's our focus, then we have to make sure that we work towards that to ensure that the next generation come and have the skills and what it takes to work out to meet the job market or the opportunities out there. And also to the parents, I think just as I mentioned for the teachers and then the various institutions in charge, the parents also must take it upon themselves to provide their kids with all the needed supports. For me, I think it's prudent you start exposing your kid to the job market skills at the age of even 7, 8, 9. Start exposing your kid to those skills at that young age, that tender age, and trust me, it will work good for him.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us. So, before you go, can you tell us a bit about Self Africa? What do you do? About
Okay.
your organization?
Sorry. Yeah. With South Africa, we seek to reposition the youth towards national development. Be achieved through 4 thematic areas. So that's career coaching,
I think your line is breaking.
entrepreneurship. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Good. So we seek to reposition the youth towards national development, and we believe that this can be achieved through career coaching, entrepreneurship, life skills empowerment. We believe um, can play a very key role in repositioning the youth towards achieving a national developmental goal. The reason is there are a lot of people out there who choose their career path based on what someone based on the fact that a friend is very into this field. There are a lot of people who have realized that this wasn't their path. They actually,
The line is breaking
unlike,
again.
it's not easy. Is it better?
Yeah,
Is it better? Good. So,
yeah, it's better.
as I was saying, there are a lot of people out there.
Ooh, we lost him again. I think his network is a problem. So he's talking about his organization, which is South Africa. Yeah. Hello, Emmanuel.
Is it okay?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you now.
please. Okay. I hope it doesn't break again. So, with a career coaching, a lot of people choose their career path based on some funny reasons. All right. So we think that, okay, why don't we engage the youth, most especially Form 3s and Form 2s from both junior high school getting to senior high school, and then with a senior high school student getting to the university. So we go out there, we get universities on board, we get career coaches on board, and then they educate the people on what they think that what are the career path out there they can choose, and then what are the opportunities that those career paths have to offer if they should find themselves there. And then with entrepreneurship, we believe so much that there are a lot of people out there with very, very good business ideas, feasible business ideas, profitable business ideas, but they don't know how to go about starting. So we have thought it wise that okay, why don't we engage people who have been successful in starting their business so that they coach some of these people, and if possible, blend it with our livelihood skills empowerment drive, where we seek to expose those who have dropped out of school, not those who are in school or those who have completed, those who have dropped out. Okay,
Okay.
specifically those who have dropped out of school, provide them with livelihood skills like these vocational skills we have around, so vocational and technical skills, so that they'll also get something doing to support themselves and their family. And we believe that blending this with entrepreneurship, definitely there'll be issues of funding. You know, there'll be issues of funding. So we'll find ways and means to, provide them with the necessary startup fund they need to kickstart their business, and also educate the masses on financial literacy. Trust me, financial illiteracy in Africa is so bad, so bad, and some way somehow it's a very big problem in Africa, and it's impeding our growth as a continent. So we have thought it wise that okay, we'll find ways and means to educate the people. You see, another problem with the educational curriculum, you don't need to be a business student for you to have all these skills, specifically
Yeah.
to be financially literate. Because regardless the field of study you find yourself, you handle money.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. At least, even if you don't need the details, you have to get the basics. You should know some basic things about investments. You understand? Because
Yeah.
trust me, there are a lot of businessmen out there. Regardless how bad my investment vehicle is, if you come, I will give you reasons to suggest that it's the best in the market. Since you are not financially literate, you are not abreast with issues on some of these things, with the basic issues, it's very easy for you to be duped.
Yeah.
And there was a typical example. I don't want to mention it. There was a typical example in our financial sector about a year or two. You realize what happened, and it's so sad. You see, there's a basic rule that states that the higher the return, the higher the risk. The risk here is not about what do you call it, the interest, but it's about the principal. So it's the higher the risk of you losing your principal and not just your interest. But people don't get it that way. So they thought, okay, the higher the risk means that, okay, well, if I invest 1,000 cedis, it means that it's highly probable I won't get my interest, but I'll have my 1,000 cedis. It doesn't work that way. So if you are ready to veer into such an investment vehicle, then you should be ready to, accept whatever risk it poses. You get a point. So these are issues that we are looking at to address to ensure that we develop the youth towards national development. So that's all, or that's the focus of South Africa.
Okay. So how can people join, or how can people get in touch with you?
Yes, for now we are still in our we had our first project in March last year, and we are still working on our proposal for our livelihood skills drive. That's the next thing we want to take on. Yes, so we are still working. We are still working backdoor and hoping that by December we should kickstart fresh with everything, with both the plan and our strategy towards the what do you call it, livelihood skills empowerment drive. And that's going to be a big project, and it's definitely need time for us to plan and then get things right. You really want to start and then be messing around, having a whole lot of issues.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Lauren asked
Yeah.
the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
How then do we go about this problem affecting the startup? Yes, it's very difficult. It's very difficult, but it takes a structural change to ensure that all these things are done, because um, the system on its own, it's fighting these businesses. So small businesses have to pay big taxes, just like the big firms. It's not easy. You have to rent. Currently, if you are renting a shop, even in Accra, you have to a minimum of a year or two. So just imagine you have 10,000 Ghana cedis. You can't even start a good business because about 30% of it is going to rent. Now, even if you are going to start, you have to, furnish the place and a whole lot. At the end, you are spending close to 5,000. That's 50% of your startup capital only on the premise before you come to the product.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are reluctant in investing into businesses than giving out loans or debt instruments to these businesses. So, one is to take government to take a very bold step that, okay, with small businesses of this size, this is the tax holiday or something I'm giving to you, such that you have this free time to operate maybe within the next 2-3 years before we start taxing you. With this, the little money that you be paying to government in the form of taxes, you keep those monies, reinvest into your business, expand it, and then employ more graduates.
Yeah.
Get it? And this even eases the burden on government with employment issues. So it's more of a political and structural, what do you call it, change that we need to ensure that these small scale businesses also strive so well in the system.
Yeah, I think we would have to bring you back on so that you talk to us more about setting up a business and all the things that go into it.
Oh, no problem. I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing the little I know.
Yeah, sure,
I'll
sure,
be
sure.
glad.
So how can people reach you, get in touch with you on South Africa, on maybe Instagram or any way they can
Okay.
get in touch with you?
With South Africa, you can check it out on all platforms from LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. South Africa. So the South is C, so CELF, South Africa. Yes, and personally on all platforms, my handle is EQA Mensa. That's Emmanuel Kobnadu Mensa. So Emmanuel Kobnadu Mensa, EQA Mensa on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Yeah.
All right,
I'll
sir.
be glad to assist and help out with anything.
Yeah, sure, sure. We will surely bring you back on.
For sure. All right. I would want to thank all those who joining to listen to what we have to say or discuss. And also
Yeah.
special mention to Felix. I realize that he's following very keenly. And then to D and everyone watching. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I really learned a lot, and I'm sure my viewers have also learned so much today from you. And
Oh yeah.
this conversation has to continue, so we will surely and definitely bring you back on. Okay, so someone just sent in a message. So, looking at how the world is evolving, what are some changes and amendments he feels should be made with regards to our educational system? So, we almost left, but I think you should answer this one
Okay,
before we go.
no problem. No problem. I think I just have to address it. Um, so thanks so much, Victor, for the question. I think with the educational system to meet how the world is evolving, we have to look at the emerging skills, the demands in the job market, how the world is moving. Now everything is moving towards technology. Technology is taking everything up. In no time, we'll be having robots doing the job of an accountant. Then you ask yourself, what then can that accountant do to
Yeah.
ensure that he has something to do or work to do? And more specifically, I think we have to also look at making sure that students find interest in creating jobs than seeking jobs. You get it? Students should find interest in creating jobs than seeking jobs. Now, when it happens that way, it eases burden on unemployment, one, and also ensures that we are up to speed with uh, how technology is evolving or the what is evolving. All right. So one with the educational sector, for instance, I think some of the courses or some of the things we do should be taken out. One thing that got me so sad while I was in school was ICT. Now, if you've been in Ghana for from primary to the university level, you realize that at primary they will teach you input devices. At JHS they will teach you input devices. At senior high school they will teach you input devices. At the university they will teach you input devices. Then you begin to ask yourself, are these the only things in ICT I can learn? No, there are other skills we can learn.
Yeah.
So even at least, even if you won't expose them to a lot, expose them to some of these basic ones like Microsoft Office, among others, which are very key because as soon as you complete school or whilst even in the university, you should be able to, do a very good slide for presentation.
Yeah.
But trust me, you can call a university graduate for slide presentation. The slide the person will do, you like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to describe it. It's so bad. So I think we have to change the content of the courses, some of the courses, and more also, we should accept these, we should inculcate these skills that are being used in the corporate field in our teaching and learning. So, for instance, talking about, let me take you to the business aspect because I'm a business student. So, talking about portfolio analysis, you should get if you give a finance or accounting student Excel to work with, you should be able to work with it and give you a very good response with Excel. We are very fine with the paperwork, but Excel is the problem. You get it? If it comes with analyzing data, at least as a finance student, you need this, especially with programming. Let me say maybe with R or let me say Python. You should learn this while in school. You don't expect me to spend 18 solid years of my life in school and then I'll complete school. I don't have all these things. All what I have is understanding, not even understanding, the true and poor of
Yeah.
some of these things. It doesn't, develop, it doesn't develop the students well. So I think we have to look at all these aspects, provide them with the opportunities, the skills, the technical skills, and everything while in school. You can't go into details, but at least give them the surface so that even if they find interest in studying it on themselves, they'll be able to do it. So this is what I would say. That has to be added to the educational system.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I think we could go on and on and on. We could go on and on and on because this topic is so broad and there needs to be a lot of things. There are a lot of things that need to be done, in our educational system, and we can discuss and talk about it. But it's I think it needs to reach those in the high positions. So what we can do is to share this video so it gets to these it gets to these high profile people so they can do something about the system because it's actually killing us. It's actually killing us because can you imagine people study ICT and all without
No.
even knowing what a computer is like? It's very, very sad. It's very, very sad. So I think we need to do more. We need to do more. But thank you so much for joining me and for doing this with me. I am so glad and so happy. I think I would have to call you back
Oh yeah,
for
and
for the
personally, we
business.
also think,
I would have to call you back for
yeah.
the business one. We need to talk more about about business. And thank you all so much. Thank you, Ofori, Roland, um, Cindy, Felix, Lorraine. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I have really learned a lot, and I hope you guys have also learned so much today. So you can get in touch with Emmanuel on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, I think everywhere. What was your handle again? Let me put it on the screen for people to follow you.
Okay, for Facebook, okay, let me say basically it's EQA Mensa.
EQA.
EQA Mensa.
Okay. Yeah.
You got it?
Is
Good.
that right?
So it's together. So
okay. sorry.
on Twitter and on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is
And
for
LinkedIn is
Twitter
just
and Instagram. Yeah, and LinkedIn, how can people get in touch with you?
yeah. There are a lot of human Mensa actually, so it's very difficult. So
I think they will see your photo.
okay, yeah. So human Mensa,
Yeah.
that's it. And Kwabnado Mensa on Facebook.
Okay, sure. So yeah. So thank you so much for joining me, and we are bringing it to a close. Thank you all so much, all those who joined us and contributed to this conversation. Thank you all so much. So if there is anyone out there who is interested in talking to us about anything pertaining to education, because this is what this page is all about, anything about education, because we want to prepare young people for the next generation. So if you have anything or you know somebody who can help us, just let us know. You can follow this page on Instagram at NA. I'll just type it here. You can just follow us and get in touch with us. Or you can also get in touch with me personally on Instagram, Nancy Ajaman. So you can also get in touch with me personally on Instagram. I'll also type that here. Yeah, so you can get in touch with me on Instagram. So we continue with this conversation. And if you have anything regarding education to discuss with us, you can always get in touch. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for honoring my show.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. I'm very much grateful.
You're welcome. Okay, so we are going to end this live video and I'll come your way next time. So until then, continue to wash your hands, wear your mask, and also take your hand sanitizers with you wherever you go. Stay safe. We'll come your way next time. Bye.
All right, bye everyone.